In my last video, I shared with you that I started my YouTube channel in 2020 because my father had died and I was so depressed that it was a struggle to get out of bed in the mornings. But when I decided to actually start the channel, I encountered another struggle, which was because all my insecurities, fears, and doubts raised their ugly heads and decided to come out to play. Now, I don't know if you've ever been there, where you have an idea, and before you know it, you've talked yourself out of that idea, citing reasons that you don't feel ready to do it. Maybe you found yourself saying, yes, I want to start that blog, but I'm not ready because I don't have enough content. I have content for maybe 1 month and nothing more, so maybe I'll wait until I have enough. Or maybe you thought about starting that side hustle, which you want to eventually become your full-time work, whether it's photography or website designing or copy editing. And you think, oh, but, well, I don't have enough of a social media presence. I don't have enough followers. And if I don't have enough followers, how am I going to get clients? And who's going to pay me? And how is it all going to work? Let me just wait for a while. I'm not ready. Maybe you said that. Well, that was where I was. I wanted to start my YouTube channel, but I wasn't sure of what I would talk about every single week. And I kept vacillating and doing that yes-no thing. You know, that thing you do when you say, yes, I want to do it. No, I don't really want to do it. Yes, I want to do it. But no, I'm not ready yet. And I kept doing that for a few days. I'd wake up one day and I'd say, yes, this is the day. I'm going to do my recording today. And then something would come up and then I'd think, I don't think today is the day. And the next day, I would do it all over again. I said, yes, I wanted to do it, but no, I'm not ready because I didn't have a fancy camera. I didn't have a tripod. I didn't have a ring light. I didn't have all the things that I thought I needed in order to start a YouTube channel. And after doing this yes-no thing for about 10 days, I remembered Mel Robbins' 5-second rule, and I decided to adopt a new mindset, and I just jumped. That day, I just grabbed my phone, leaned it against the fireplace with no fancy camera, no tripod, no ring light, no editing skills, and no red lipstick. And I just started talking. Hi guys. So today I decided to stop talking and to start doing. What did I decide to do? I decided to finally start my YouTube channel. Now, I've been talking about this for years. And I guess like many of us, we procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate. And I was very aware that I couldn't do editing, so I had to talk for 3 minutes without a mistake. And I did. And that's the mindset we have to have, where rather than focusing on what we don't have, we focus on what we do have and the fact that we want to do the thing. Now, when I did my first 2 videos, I had called my channel Tales of Tanya. And my friend Mark Jennings, who I spoke about in the last video, said to me, why would you call it Tales of Tanya when your blog is called Tanya's Tales? And I thought that made sense. But I really hadn't thought of it. I was just trying to be different. The blog was Tanya still, so I thought, let me call the channel Tales of Tanya. I teach communications, but I had no idea of marketing and branding. And so, by the third video, my channel was no longer Tales of Tanya, but it became Tanya's Tales. And that was just the first of many changes. I started out talking about COVID and how to cope with COVID, and I did a series of videos showing different things I was doing with my family and alone, trying to cope with the isolation and the solitude of COVID. And then I kind of ran out of steam. And then I started to talk about storytelling. And I had fun with that. And many of my friends came by and supported me and said, yes, they enjoyed it. And they did. I believe them. But after a time, I thought that focus was too narrow. And then my college semester restarted. And then I began to do videos specifically for my college students. So, I did videos on how to cope being an online student, how to email your professor as an online student, how to read your textbooks, how to learn new content, how to watch YouTube videos and actually learn and not just be entertained. And my channel name progressed from Tanya's Tales to Professor Tanya Speaks. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is that if you want to do something, if you want to start that blog, start that side hustle, start your photography, if there's something you want to start and you're thinking, well, I'm not yet ready because I haven't gotten everything fully worked out, I'd like to remind you that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to have enough to begin. Because when you begin, when you take action, that's when you'll begin to get more clarity about what you really want to do. And I say that because it has taken me 104 videos and 13 months in order to realize that I want to emphasize personal development and public speaking only on this channel. And I decided that I would take all of the very specific college content and put them on another channel called College Life. And that took me 13 months to get there. But I began to realize after a time that my subscribers and my viewers were looking at so many different topics that they didn't know what my emphasis was. And I decided to stick to the two things that I felt the most passionate about, which is what I'm doing now, which falls under the category of personal development, as well as everything related to public speaking. So I'm not going to remove the college content videos because that's not a part of my growth. But what I will do is, going forward, I will put only college related videos on the new channel, College Life. I once heard someone say that creating a new habit or making a change in our lives can be likened to doing a home renovation, where it's hard to start, it's messy in the middle, but in the end, it's beautiful. And having just done a renovation, I know that is so true. At the beginning, you struggle a lot with, shall I start? Should I do it? Should I not do it? You want to do it, but you start to count the cost and you realize it's going to be expensive. It's going to be inconvenient and it's going to be messy. And then it does become messy. And there's so much rubble that you have to work through. And then at the end, you love it so much because it's so beautiful that you don't even remember the struggle and the messy part. And that's why I want to encourage you to develop the mindset that says, I don't have to be perfect, I just have to begin. So begin even if you're not ready. And begin with the realization and the knowledge that it will be difficult to start, it will be messy in the middle, but it will be beautiful at the ending. So just begin.